Jake's in Canada. Hi, Jake. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Pleasure to talk to you. I never thought I'd be able to actually communicate with you, but it's a blessing.
Well, we're honored. How can we help you?
So a little bit of a backstory. I got married at a pretty young age. So, life was good. We're doing the 5 baby steps. We managed to pay off a lot of debt, and then got a 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund sitting. And so a year and a half ago, we were blessed with a little baby boy. And so now, our marriage started getting really rocky. It was we had a hard time. And so now my wife, she's saying how she doesn't want to be together anymore. She doesn't love me anymore. She's talking to somebody else. In the middle of the night, I'll hear her on the phone with another person. And I just don't know what to do with that. And she wants to basically live at home still, in the same house, and so that she could raise our son. But it's a very difficult place for me to be in. So I just need some advice on that.
I'm sorry. How old are you?
24.
Okay. Dude, you don't deserve this.
No, it takes two to break a relationship, right? I'm not blaming her on it all, 100%, but it's I wanted to make things work. We were seeing a marriage counselor and everything, and for a while there, I thought things were going good, and then about 3 weeks ago, she said she was done, she was completely done, and then a couple days later, she was talking to somebody else already. So it's a tough situation.
And how old's the baby?
He's a year and a half.
Year and a half. Oh, Jake, I'm so sorry. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, yeah, in this case, if she's in a sense, having an emotional affair and she's, talking to people and all of that, I'm like, she's breaking her vows that she made with you and choosing not to walk down a path that you guys can have healing and move past this. And so sure, no one's perfect in a marriage, but she's making these decisions consciously to go against everything that you guys had in your marriage. And so, yeah, what Dave said earlier, but I'm like, at that point, she doesn't get a lot of votes right now in your life, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
okay. So let me back up and just address your initial question. Okay. If you guys can work this out and be married, and with a marriage counselor walk through this patch, and she can set the phone down and devote her life to you. You can set your issues down and devote your life to her. That's great, and I hope that's what can happen. If she actually wants a divorce, you can't stop her. It's her. You can't make other people do things. Okay,
yeah.
I can't make my wife do anything. Believe me, we're married 40 years. I can't make her do anything.
Exactly.
And she really can't make me do anything either, in all fairness. Okay, we all make decisions as individual adults. Okay, so you can't make people do what you want to do, but what you can decide is what's right for you based on the decisions they're making. And and when you say out loud, we're going to get a divorce and live in the same house and be roommates, that's just strange, weird, and dumb. When you say that out loud that it is all of those things, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's heartbreaking.
Not even a possibility. Okay, if we're going to go through a divorce, that means we're not going to be married and we're going to have separate lives. No, we're not living in the same house. That's asinine.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So she doesn't want to leave, Jake? Is that this,
he said she wants to stay in the house with
She
him.
wants to be in the house with you, or she just wants the house?
No, she wants to, because she doesn't have a degree in anything. And for her to, right now, the way the market is right now, for even renting a home would be super hard for her. So she basically wants to just live there. And she does not want to go back to work because she wants to raise our son. Which, it would be better for him, I agree.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. He does not need to be raised by divorced parents living in the same house together. That's so freaking weird, it's psychologically damaging to your son. No.
Yeah.
No, that's not better for your son. It sounds this poor girl. She's so screwed up. I don't want to work and earn money, but I don't want to be married. Well, darling, you can't. You get to choose one or the other. It's not the way this is going to work out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if we're going to get a divorce, that she's going to have to go get an apartment. You guys are going to sell the house, and you're going to go get an apartment.
Okay.
No, you're not going to live together.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
does that mean? I mean, you knew that, right?
Yeah, I did. And I just like, I didn't want to be the guy to just like decide something, you know, and for it to not work out in the end. So that's why I figured.
Well,
like,
if you guys staying in the same house involves healing your marriage, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But not work out in the. There's nothing where you divorce and live in the same house together that works out in the end. You are a highly unattractive single guy at this point. That you live in a house with your ex, because it has a big arrow above your head that says stupid. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Dave.
No, really,
Jake
that would not. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this.
No,
man.
I know you don't. No, but
No.
And he seems like such a kind,
he's a sweet guy.
person.
He's a sweet
so
guy.
to have the conversation with her, Jake, is that she's doing this. Like that's my thing. You're not the one putting her out on the street and not letting her be home with her child. She's making decisions about her life that is now choosing to isolate herself because she's chosen to go against her vows to her husband. So like, and you're probably not perfect. I'm not saying that, but like, man, it is. You reap what you sow, and there's a level of consequences that she has to face because she's making big girl decisions, and now she's about to get some big girl results, and she's got to deal with that. Like it's unfair to you to be the brunt of all of it.
And she calls me mean.
That was very kind. That was very kind. But man, it's just unfair to you, Jake. Like I feel for you.
Jake,
where I'm like,
because
you're a kind person. Even the way you're asking the question, you're so nice.
No, I'm not
so
sure.
There's a level
we're pretty sure you're not perfect, but you are a nice guy, and you don't deserve this. So no, we're going to set up a normal process that says you have a future away from her if she doesn't want to be with you. She has a future away from you because she doesn't want to be with you. We can't, and then you can move on with your life, and she can move on with her life. And we've got this connection with this 1.5-year-old.
And this is all the caveat that for some reason, if there's an issue, that she's running from the marriage to all these other relationships that you guys in counseling and therapy can work through and build a stronger marriage. That's our number one, right? Number one is that you guys can heal this over time.
But divorced and living in the same house is not on the agenda.
Yes.
Okay? It's not on the agenda. We're just taking that off the table. Let's just be real clear. If we hadn't already been. The way you can look at some of these things sometimes when you're in a fog on the decision making, folks, whether it's something deeply relational like that, where your brain just shuts down because the stress level's so high, and you really can't see clear. The way you can get clarity when you're overwhelmed with that kind of stuff is just project it out 10 years. Okay, 10 years after moving in with your ex and living in the same house, how's that working out for you?
Yeah,
it's
and I think
not.
And he probably knows that, but following through with that decision means confrontation with her, making her move, or he's moving, and like, do you know what I'm saying? Like following through with the repercussions of that decision is messy, and so entering into that probably sounds exhausting for you, Jake.
Not his decision, though; it's hers. I mean, she made the mistake.
Yeah, yes,
so
yes.
That's what we're facing.
But his decision of not living in the house with her once they're divorced,
which
is the right decision, by the way.
Instantaneous, yeah. Doesn't take 30 seconds to make that one. Not 3 seconds to make that one. Yeah. Sorry you're going through this, young man. I hope it works out. Doesn't sound like it's going to.